Whoops, hold on. Looks like I have my controller plugged in. Take that out. Alright. Alright, so let me double check my frame rate and everything. Because I bumped it back up to the original settings before the whole stuttery mess from last stream. So right now it's capped at 60 without VSync, with the original settings for 8x MSA and Ultra Shadow Res, I believe, or Detail, or whatever the setting was called. Not too bad so far over here. And I still have my OBS preview up as well. Although we'll have to see once we actually do get outside, because this area is relatively small compared to the rest of the Nord Highlands. But okay, so last stream I believe, we got the opponent flowers that we need to get to the doctor. We delivered the food stuff to the watchtower guards, or soldiers. And everything's good so far. So, oh yeah, and also we got the new chapter for Red Moon Rose, which I will read soon. And yeah. Okay, let's go turn this in. That is not the right place. Let's go turn this in. Also, since the preview shows that everything looks okay so far, let me see. Actually, should I make this like slightly brighter? Because like again, like my monitors have mismatched coloring and brightness. So putting this on my other monitor, it does look a little bit darker than it should, at least like compared to my main monitor. I mean, I've been using default settings up until this point, so whatever. Like, unless it gets, like, unviewably dark, like when I was playing Grim Dawn. Because in Grim Dawn, oh boy. Or I guess like Path of Exile as well, or any game with like a dark, gritty aesthetic. Because compared to like games like this where you see more vibrant colors and everything, the brightness isn't that much of an issue until it gets to like some slightly darker areas like this. But it's not that apparent here. But when I play like Path of Exile, Grim Dawn, or other games that are kind of dark, oh boy. I would actually need to, I should probably remember from this point on to actually check my settings on OBS Preview on my other monitor compared to what I see on my main, because looking at, oh yeah, there's also, I believe, Resident Evil 8 as well, during like certain dark places. It was ridiculously dark. I'm like, yeah, you know what, maybe I should like bump up the gamma on the stream end. Okay, let's go turn this in. Welcome back. Seems like you all made it back in one piece. Yeah, no issues here. Can you check to make sure you collected the right thing? Sure, give it here. Yep, these are what I was looking for. Thanks a lot. You saved me the hassle of getting them myself. It was our pleasure. Are things coming along well in regards to making the medicine? Yep, all I need to do is add this grass now. Granted, I still need to wait until it's properly mixed in, so it'll be a while until it's ready. It should be done by tonight though, so I'll make sure all the horses have it then. Thank you for the hard work as always. No worries. Oh right, can't forget to give you your reward for helping me out. Scent. Thank you. Much appreciated. You all deserve it. Well then, good luck with the rest of your tasks. Well then, I got some work to do today myself. We use wood here a lot, so I need to go collect some more. Bringing it all back is a pain though. So I'm planning on borrowing Kilt's truck. I'll be gone for most of the afternoon, so take care while you're out there, okay? Daddy's medicine is the best. I helped him pick out the herbs for it too. He said I did a good job. Alright, so that should leave Yep. Oh wait, no, hold on. Where was the... That's lodging. Oh right, we need to go to the Elder's home for the Orban stuff because we got some Sepith to go around. So, whoops. No, that's not it. Slot. So we can finish Gaius. Actually, can we finish? Yes, we can. There we go. Ah. Now, what did I say last session that I wanted to add to Gaius? I completely forgot. So, does Scent add anything? Oh my goodness! Aerial Grand Press Dark Matter? Well then. Because, what was it? Scent isn't as bad compared to the previous Trails games, at least from what I can tell. Because if we can just run up to a monster, stun lock it as I've been always doing, then the increased aggro range isn't as bad as the previous games where you basically only get, like, one chance, essentially. Or, like, you kind of, like, stagger them a little bit, but then it's definitely not enough time to just, like, hit, nudge around, hit, go around, hit, go around, and hit for the stun in, like, the older games. So, here? This is amazing. Alright. You know what? I'll replace this with Aerial. Frost Edge, Spark Arrow. AP while on the field. Let's go put Grand Press on here. Silverthorn. We have like something's a Saintly Force. Flame Tongue. No, I think we're good here. Oh wait, oh you're right, I forgot about Gaius. Okay, so what did I say I wanted to add to Gaius? So we can either give him HP. Can give him more debuffs. Slightly more attack, although that's probably not worth it. Wait, what does hair give? It just gives breath and run away from battle. Should I give cast for... Nah. We could do Chrono Drive R for more speed. Oh, no. Fortuna. Right. There we go. Oh wait, and Eustace. Oh yeah, Eustace can definitely make use of... I should probably put Scent on Eustace then. Flame Tongue? Well, I feel like if I have Flame Tongue... Although, what's the cost difference? Oh, yeah, okay, that's kind of important to consider. Anything else I would use? Probably Cast. You don't have Cast on Emma, which is kind of bothering me. And I'll keep the Master Quartz the same. What do I want? Or do I want to level up Falco? Cause I'm liking Raven. What else would like guys make good use of, to be honest? Although Force. Actually, Force would help with like farming. I mean, there's also. Oh, right. I forgot to equip this. Right. Yeah, I completely forgot about equipping this. Okay, I'll do it the next time or I hope I remember to. I'll do it the next time I go Sepith farming. Oh, hold on. Okay, I think this might be time to disable the OBS preview. Let me know if anything looks funny, because I won't be able to see it. Because I was noticing some stutter, so I'm like, oh no. Had to happen sooner or later. You know, we'll take some battle scopes. Should everyone rest up at the... Oh wait, so wait, how do we, I know, they're just resting normally. No, wasn't there, hold on. Was it trading post? No, it wasn't trading post. No, I don't think there was anywhere that... Now, was there a place that had you restore CP like a regular inn? Ah, well. You know what? Let's go read Red Moon Rose now. Alright, okay. Chapter 6. Bloodstained Rose. The city of Heimdall was deathly silent. During the day, word had spread throughout the populace that... from the Garroteam, Word had been spread throughout the populace from the Garroteam regarding the culprit behind the vampire murders. Knowing specific details about the perpetrator instilled an even greater sense of fear into the people of the city, making them even more wary of stepping out of their homes at night. That the streets would be empty was an inevitability. And yet, on one dark avenue in the city, a petite woman walked alone, as if to defy all that. She wore a plain, undecorated dress, and from all appearances belonged to the middle classes. She walked quite quickly, the sound of her shoes against the ground echoing loudly in the empty streets. Her arms were wrapped tightly around her chest, almost as if embracing herself. She was hunched forward, clearly afraid of something. Of course, it was perfectly natural for her to be afraid, considering that the majority of the victims of the city's serial murderer were young women like herself. She looked around restlessly, carefully surveying her surroundings for signs of danger before disappearing down a dark alleyway. The faint moonlight illuminated her profile as she turned the corner and cast a long shadow behind her, which slowly and silently began to enlarge. Gradually, the silhouette extended upwards, the inky depths taking the shape of a man. It loomed behind her. The figure was swathed in all black, with the top half of its face covered. The bottom half remained exposed, revealing a wicked grin and sharp pointed fangs. It was a vampire, a creature of legend. It stood silently behind the woman, very much real despite its supposed mythological standing. From the sable folds of the cloak swaddling its body, it slowly extended a pale hand. The fingers stretched forward. Sharp, pointed nails gently swept aside the woman's shoulder-length blonde hair. The tips brushed the back of her neck almost caressingly. The second they did, though, it seemed to sense that something was wrong. Its prey was behaving oddly. It hadn't expected the frail creature before to put up the slightest resistance. She should have frozen at its touch, or given in to despair, having no choice but to succumb to the inevitable and have her blood drained. What it felt from her instead, however, was defiance and danger. This woman was no prey. Hunter had met hunter. The creature tensed, ready to leap backwards. Too late. They realized another threat radiated from directly beside it. There was no avoiding it. The sound of paving stones cracking resounded in the still night, and its outstretched right arm was suddenly shredded by numerous sharp objects. The vampire let out an involuntary hiss of pain as a wave of silver blades arced through air and flesh, one after another. But the attack wasn't over. The vampire sensed danger from below. From below too, and the blades which impaled into the ground suddenly arced upwards with an alarming speed, as if retracing their path through the air. Just as the blades were about to sever its right arm from its body once and for all, it was able to jump out of the way. Clutching its mangled limb, the vampire edged further back to put distance between itself and the woman. It watched balefully, with narrowed eyes, as the razor-sharp segments that had pierced it soared back over to the bladeless handle in the woman's. When she had drawn it, it didn't know, Pepe laughed. Connected by sturdy steel wires, the segments interlocked one by one, eventually forming a complete blade known as a Templar sword. She swung it, shaking the blood from its surface. Every last trace of the weakness she had shown earlier when hurrying through the night was gone. She turned around, finally, revealing the dignified, expressionless face that had lain on the other side of the sleek, blonde curtain of hair. It was the vampire hunter, Rose. "So you were trying to lure me out, were you?" the vampire sneered. "Heh, such cunning." Its words were sharp, but the delivery fell somewhat tremulously on the rough cobblestones of the empty alley. "You flatter me," Rose said. Her Templar sword still raised in her right hand, she put her left hand into her pocket and pulled out an unbelievably large caliber pistol, greater in size than those used in the army. She aimed it at the vampire's forehead and pulled the trigger without a moment's hesitation. The gunpowder flash illuminated the alleyway briefly, and a single blessed silver bullet flew from the muzzle with merciless intent. Such was the force of the discharge that an ordinary person's shoulder would have been dislocated. But Rose didn't so much as twitch. The vampire moved with liquid speed, dodging the projectile just in time and slipping behind Rose. Not the slightest perturbed by its change in direction, Rose moved as well and kept the pistol focused on the creature, tracking the vampire's every movement. "You're quite adept at fleeing, if nothing else," she said coolly. "Would you prefer I did something like this, then?" the vampire asked. As it spoke, it fluttered the black garment it was draped in, and they began to expand, the folds stretching to impossible size before her eyes. Pitiful moans echoed in the dark depths. Rose watched with narrowed eyes as a number of ghouls crawled out from within, as if emerging from thin air. 5, 6, 7... Eventually, she counted 10 in all. It had even been 24 hours since the previous battle. The vampire couldn't have possibly attacked that many people in time. Rose's mouth tightened. "I see. And here we believe the reported murders to be the only victims. But that wasn't the case at all. You were abducting others who had no living relatives to notice that they were gone and keeping them locked up somewhere, weren't you?" "Precisely. With a vampire hunter on the loose, I had to make sure I had some food in reserve. I'd rather not run the risk of going hungry, you see." "The very thought makes me physically ill," Rose replied quietly. With a vicious yank, she tore the dress as she had worn as a disguise from the body. Underneath it, sturdy leather clothes designed with mobility in mind were revealed. Attached to them were numerous belts holding large guns, knives, and other anti-vampire weaponry in place. It was clear at a glance that she was well prepared for battle. The sight of Rose's arsenal coaxed a sickly smile from the vampire. "Go forth, my minions!" And with a wave of its pallid hand, the ghouls leaped forward. "Where are you, Rose?" Alphonse shouted between pants as he ran back and forth across the city, desperately searching for her. Try as he might, though, he could find no sign of the blonde woman. Even his fellow soldiers patrolling the streets had seen nothing. Alphonse had a very specific reason for pursuing this case, and he didn't intend to lose this opportunity to put the past behind him. That was what led him to propose that he and Rose work together, a proposal which she had accepted, and yet despite all that, she was trying to fight the vampire all on her own. It was too risky, even for her. His mind was full of worry for her, and that fear conjured forth the image of his parents' dead bodies. Never again. He never wanted to see a sight like that again. Wishing over and over again that Rose was still alright, he raced on. And it was then that he heard a sound that caught his attention. The clash of battle. As soon as the noise reached his ears, he quickly surveyed his surroundings. The source seemed to be an alleyway nearby. Without a thought spared for his own safety, he charged right into the alleyway. There an unbelievable sight met his eyes. 2 ghouls lunged at her. Sheathing her Templar sword into its scabbard, Rose drew a second large pistol in its place. The ghouls swung their fists and ragged nails toward her with an inhuman power, but she dodged them gracefully. As she spun out of their range, she aimed one pistol at each of the ghouls' forehead and pulled the triggers simultaneously. Flesh and bone were obliterated instantly. The sheer force of the blast sent the mangled remains somersaulting backwards through the air. The move left Rose slightly unbalanced, and as if seeking to take advantage of that, 3 more ghouls flew at her from outside her vision. The mere sound of their movement was enough to alert her, however, and without even turning to face them, she sent 2 more bullets through the heads of the 2 ghouls charging her from the sides. The third ghoul's mouth distended, seeking to crush Rose's skull with its teeth. But she danced out of reach, holstering the pistols. Fluidly, she then flipped back through the air, drawing her Templar sword at the same time and slicing the lower half of the ghoul's body from the upper half in one swift stroke. She landed gracefully and kicked the ghoul she had just cut in half out of the way without even waiting for its body to hit the ground. 2 more ghouls approached from the fringes, but without waiting for them to draw closer this time, she swung her blade horizontally through the air. It split into pieces, and countless segmented parts pierced the ghouls' necks. Their heads dropped to the ground like fruit falling from a tree. 7 other ghouls incapacitated in what seemed like an instant. Rose turned her attention to the defiantly grinning vampire and the remaining 3 ghouls with them. She drew the 2 pistols from around her waist a second time and sprinted toward them, showering them with the remaining loaded bullets. The vampire evaded the projectiles by using the remaining ghouls as shields. Out of bullets, Rose drew her Templar sword and swung it in the direction of the vampire's neck in one fluid motion, seeking to decapitate it. The next instant, the high-pitched screech of metal against metal filled the air. The vampire had drawn its own weapon from inside the black garments. It met Rose's blade in midair. 2 swords locked against one another, filling the air with sparks and leaving them in a stalemate reminiscent of the previous night's battle. I'm impressed at how unfazed you seem fighting against those ghouls, the vampire said, teeth bared but with a slight curl to his lips. I would have expected a human to at least hesitate when being forced to fight their own kind. They ceased to be my kind the moment you drank their blood. They're nothing but soulless puppets now. Why should I hesitate against them? The creature inclined its head almost respectfully at that. Huh, you certainly think like a vampire hunter. The sound of metal against metal continued to reverberate throughout the area. Drinking the blood of the ghouls had allowed the vampire to become even stronger than the last night. Its once crippled right arm had already healed and regained its original form. Even so, Rose met it without any sign of strain, her strength matching that of the fell creature. Urgh! The loud war cry split the air, startling both combatants, and a third figure suddenly burst onto the scene. Oh my god, Alphonse. The charging figure was dressed in an armored uniform and brandished a silver sword. It was Alphonse. Catching the vampire off guard, he slashed at its side. Having no experience with the weapon itself, it was a shallow attack, and the damage it dealt far from lethal, but it was enough to break the stalemate. Seizing the opening, Rose forcefully knocked the vampire's sword out of the way, and in one flowing motion sliced horizontally from its exposed chest to his left arm. A crimson goat of blood arced from the wound, splashing the cobblestones. Something also sheared off from within the vampire's garments and flew into the air. The vampire clutched its chest in pain, but it was clear that her attack had only grazed it. It seemed that once again the creature's return preternatural speed had saved it from mortal injury. Eyes darting from one to the other, it backed away with an audible tch. It looks like the odds are stacked against me. I will retreat for today, it said, its outline growing dim before it turned into mist and vanished into nothingness. After a moment of heavy silence, Alphonse sheathed his sword, staring at the spot where the vampire had previously been. Got away again. Finally looking at him, Rose let out a sigh of disbelief. Why did you come? Hearing the coldness in her voice, Alphonse lost his composure. He seized their shoulders in his hands. Of course I came, he yelled. What were you thinking trying to fight him on your own? It's too dangerous to take him down without help. Her cool blue eyes locked with his. Dangerous? For me. Do you honestly believe that? She asked. Her face was as mask-like as ever, but her tone had dropped from chilly to downright glacial. It had a cooling effect on Alphonse's anger. He took a half-step back and looked at her from top to bottom. Illuminated by the light of the moon, he could see that she was covered in gore. He released her shoulders and stared at his own hands. They too were now wet with blood from touching her. And yet, there was not so much as a scratch on her whole body. The filth covering her entirely belonged to the ghoul she had defeated. I am a vampire hunter, and this is not the first vampire I've hunted. I've killed more of them than you could possibly imagine. Alphonse couldn't deny what she was saying. He had seen for himself the skill and grace she had shown when mercilessly slaying all those ghouls. Unmoved by the fact that they were once humans, she had been an artist in battle and the sword her paintbrush. What he had witnessed was beyond his comprehension, a struggle between monsters rather than human beings. That was why he could do nothing but stand and watch at first, unable to intervene. He was lost for words. Rose broke the silence with a short, frosty laugh. Al, I have no further need of your assistance. I suggest you forget about all this and return to your ordinary life. She then gave a respectful curtsy, and much like the one she had when they first met. Damn. Aw. Are they gonna keep going with this? Alright, as far as I know, we've explored pretty much everywhere we can in terms of grabbing chests and examining or inspecting monsters. So right now, we're off to Zendergate.
Well, here we are.
Let's go meet with the Lieutenant General.
I just slashed and I'm at it out. Allow me to welcome you all to Zender Gate. Although seeing as how you all passed through yesterday, I can probably skip the instructions, yeah? Or introductions, yeah? Lieutenant General Vander is currently inside, so if you have business with him, use the door at the top of the stairs. The Nord Highlands are nice and peaceful. It's not so bad being stationed in an area where you don't actually need to, where you don't need to worry about having to actually fight. We owe the people of Nord a lot for remaining on friendly terms with us too. Welcome to Zendergate. My name is Ogram, and I'm in charge of who can and can't pass through here. You are not to enter any classified areas without my permission. Understood? Yes, sir. Well said. You'll find the mess hall in the right wing, and the barracks on the left. Lieutenant General Vander's office can be found within the left wing too. I recommend you pay him a visit. Well, let's go over here. Anything here by any chance? Major Lyle? Oh, if it isn't our visitors from Thor's. Welcome to Zender Gate, everyone. I see you've already gotten started with your field study. How's that coming along? Well, it's taking some time to get used to the Highlands. Other than that, things are progressing fine. Fortunately, we have guides to guide us, but the mere thought of trying to travel through the Highlands on foot is terrifying. That's exactly the same thought we had when we all first came here. There's a lot of things you can only learn in a vast area like this, though. Yeah. Try and make the most of your time here. Thank you. We'll do just that. The Nord Highlands aren't especially an important area for the military. While Calvert has his own base set up here, it's more of a battle of wills than anything else. You won't run into any soldiers from Calvert as long as you stay in your designated field study area. Just focus on completing your field study. The one drawback from this place from a military standpoint is that it's beyond peaceful. We have to constantly schedule various training sessions for our soldiers, otherwise they'll lose their edge. So you're planning on making them do a climbing marathon to the watchtower this time? Maybe add some traps along the way to make things more intense for them. Yes, sir. Yeah. The soldiers need challenging training to ensure that they don't lose their edge. That's why we announced the nature of the training on the very morning that it begins. Oh boy. I mean, fair enough. I mean, with how peaceful it is, like, people are just kind of like, eh. Oh. So this is all the current stuff right now. Oh yeah, there's all like the current things and all that. Quartz stuff, the usual. So wait, nothing, hold on. Yeah, nothing else here. Okay. Oh, I didn't talk to you. The mechanics here are responsible for Zender Gate's maintenance. We work for the military, but we don't actually do it, or we don't do any of the actual fighting, obviously. Lieutenant General Vander asked us to take care of anything you guys might want, so come to us for your weapon-related needs. The mechanics here are responsible, blah, blah, blah. We work for the military, but we don't do any of the actual fighting, obviously. Oh, no, that's the same thing, sorry. I noticed Major Lyle and Warrant Officer Samurai entering the operations room over there, coffee in hand. Those two are really nuts about their training. Those of us from the 3rd Armored Division are used to it, but I can picture the look of horror on the others' faces already. We're not exactly doing much here, though. Now and then. I don't know what they got in store for us this time. Oh god. While there may be many famous people from within the military, Lieutenant General Vander remains our greatest tactician. So what's this girl doing here? His skill allows him to pull through the most treacherous of situations while ensuring that most of his men return home alive. That man has an indomitable spirit. Of course, those of us within his division are required to undergo heavy training just to be able to keep up. Tama took me down to the settlement a while back. It was so fun. His mom always cooks the best food, and his little sisters are really cute to boot. He promised to take me back there again, but first I need to figure out how to make Dad stop complaining about me going there. Many know of One-Eyed Zex because of his skill in the Vander School of Swordsmanship, but there is more to him than just that. He also has an indomitable spirit that complements his skill well. Hey, take a good look at my daughter. She's adorable, right? Any boy even thinks he's trying to make a move on her, though, he'll have to answer to my fist. That Tama in particular is really asking for it. He always looks so happy whenever he invites her out. Maybe my worst fears are true and she really does have feelings for him. Dad, you better not be freaking out the customers again. Anyway, I'm not going to just let anyone have my little girl, got it? I guess I'll do my part and pitch in with your field study. Charlie and I came up with a recipe for an incredibly delicious pizza during our time here, you see. It's so good that we make it for the nomads from time to time. So here, let me share it with you. Crispy pizza. I'll leave Tama in charge of taking goods back to the settlement these days. Huh, he's a reliable kid, I'll give him that. But that's not good enough. I won't be handing my little girl over that easily. Oh my god, this guy. Alright, so, oops, let me make a save here. Oh, yo, Reen can make some good pizza.
Okay, let's give this a try. Well, how about that?
Teriyaki chicken pizza. Yo, I'd try that. Huh.
All right, I'll give it a try. Huh, not bad.
Damn it.
All right, I'll give it a try. This turned out very...
Alright, let's get started. What is this?
Actually, that looks kind of useful. Let me just put one, let me just make one more of
let's
that.
get started. Well, that turned out well.
God damn it. Okay, this is what I get for not saving. You know, I'll go make a whole bunch of those.
Alright, let's get started. What is...
Okay, let's give this a try. Wow, that came out. How about that?
You know what? I'll settle with that. Alright, so that's about everything with this spot. The 3rd Armored Division was stationed here about a year ago. We used to be stationed in the Sutherland province, which meant we were stuck dealing with that incident in the Burl. Hey, they're referencing the stuff in the Shadows in the Sky, huh? Huh, I prefer it here by far. It's much more peaceful. Still haven't gotten used to the cold though. Good day, everyone. This is Lieutenant General Vander's office. You've been granted permission to enter whenever you want. Have you been to the watchtower northeast of here yet? While it's stuffed full of soldiers who have been here in Nord for ages now, it's a pretty dull place. Seems like everyone runs out of things to discuss when they've been there for long enough. One of my good friends, Zats, has been stuck there for a while. I should bring him a strong drink or something one of these days. Any books? Oh my god, look at all the alcohol. I assume various wines and other fancy drinks. I don't know. Thank you for coming. Looks like you were able to get a good night's rest after your long journey. Yes, we were. Thank you for your concern, sir. And thank you again for preparing us those horses yesterday. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule for us. Oh, no need to thank me. It was the least I could do to welcome Gaz back to his homeland. Thank you very much. I wouldn't have been able to enroll in the academy if not for your recommendation. I'm truly grateful. Really? It did seem like the two of you were no strangers. I can hardly imagine the circumstances that would give cause for a nomad to meet an Imperial officer. It does boggle the mind, doesn't it? But actually, I owe a great debt to Gaius. He saved my life. Seriously? We first met around a year ago, back when I took up my post here at Zendergate. While out on an inspection of the Highlands, I found myself surrounded by a pack of wolf-like beasts. Then out of nowhere, young Gaius comes galloping in, spear in hand, to pull my ass out of the fire. What a way to meet. It was like the textbook definition of acting without thinking. Oh no. You should be proud of yourself. There I was, on the defensive, cautiously gauging my best course of action, when Gaius barreled into the fray all alone and fought out the lot of them. And this was a year ago? Back when he was just 16? Unbelievable. That sounds just wild enough to be a true Gaius story. Anyway, that's how the Lieutenant General and I first became acquainted. He's the one who wrote me the recommendation that allowed me to enroll at the academy. I saw a lot of potential in you. Figured it'd be a shame if you were never given the chance to realize it. I'm glad to see you again, Gaius. As am I. Anyway, let's move along to business. Are you ready for me to explain what I'd like you to do? Ready when you are, sir. It was something about hunting down a dangerous monster that's been sighted around here, right? Indeed. It's a ferocious beast. And a dangerous one. I've had reports coming in of people being attacked on their way across the Highlands. It does sound like the kind of problem that's best not ignored. Is it possible to send the army after it? My first thought was to do exactly that. Unfortunately, it never stays in any one place for too long. As such, we were initially unable to pinpoint a specific location where we could mount an operation against it. When you consider how vast the plains are, hunting a target that's constantly moving isn't an easy task. You said initially though, so does that mean... Sharp thinking, Miss Milstein. Several days ago, we managed to discover at least one of its haunts. Right as I was about to drop plans for the operation, I was informed you'd be paying us a visit. So I figured a good battle might be just the right kind of mission for your field study. Ah, so that's how it happened. Would you mind telling us where we can find the monster, sir? We tracked it to a basin that lies east-northeast of Zender Gate. Though it's always on the move, it appears to linger in that area during this time of day. I'd like to ask you to head there right away and exterminate it for us. Understood. Leave everything to us. We won't let you down. Excellent. I'm counting on you then. The basin shouldn't be too far on horseback. Take care. Understood, sir. Alright, we're looking for a basin east-northeast of here. Let's get going then. Alright. He's a good guy. Nah, I think it's like all the same. Yeah, it's all the same stuff now. Okay. Hey, Equinox. This is my first Cold Steel playthrough. Yep. I've played, actually I made a command just for this, actually. I was kind of discussing this the other day, but, oh, whoops. Hold on. Kind of made this command, because, what was it? I know it's kind of like a wall text, but, actually, maybe I should, like, make that more concise. Now that I look at it in chat. But basically, I played the crossbow games, I played the Sky Trilogy, and
Let's get going.
basically I don't want too many spoilers of what has, or what has yet to happen, basically. But yeah, so far, Cold Steel 1, I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, is that the monster right there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing in Cold Steel so far. Can't wait to see the later games once we get around to that. Although that's gonna be a while considering the length of a usual Trails game. Oh dear God. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I finished the crossbow games quite a couple months ago, and I can say up until this point, definitely actually let me get closer. I can definitely say that the crossbow arc is pretty much the best I've seen so far. Like, especially Trails to Azure, it's I would say it's like the best in the series. I'd say that's the monster we came looking for. The Lieutenant General did say that it was spotted around here, and at this time of day too. Yeah, let's make sure we're fully prepared before we engage it. Understood. We won't let the Lieutenant General down. Actually, you know what? In hindsight, I really should have thought about this with the command. Let me make this more concise, because the more I think about it now, I'm like, yeah, no, that's kind of a wall of text. I'm sorry. Let's see. But let me just take out some excess words here. I feel like I'm in English class again, trying to like not go over a word limit. You know, I'll remove this part of it. I think that's like a little bit too. I believe that one's unnecessary. Let's see. You know, I'll remove the sentence too. So this one should be much shorter. There we go. Command edited. Oh yeah, well I also have my timer that I need to edit as well. Alright, there we go. That one's like more concise. Sorry about that though. But I hope I'm doing well, Equinox.
Be careful, this one
Dude,
looks strong.
it's so huge. Also, Thunderloach. So these ones are weak to Earth mainly. Okay. That's why this one's susceptible to confusion. Okay, so at least with this guy, we're gonna think of blind. I could get good coverage here if I do this, so I will do that.
Whirlwind! To me!
Feel that being an English teacher and all.
It's my
Oh,
turn.
yo, we got the blind proc. So wait. Any characters I really like in Class 7 so far? Ooh. Ah, tough call. I really like... I'm really interested in learning more about Fee. Lore seems pretty cool as well. And also, what was it? Gaius and Emma as well. Those are like the top 1, 2, 3. What the list like 4? I forgot. I probably said 4 or 5, but yeah. I'm really interested in seeing more about them. Especially with like the magic stuff that Emma has been kind of like sneakily like using during her time here so far. Whether it's that heal spell she whispered, that magic unlock spell back in Berea Heart. I can't wait to see like, or to see them go into more detail sometime down the line. Although I gotta wonder how many more people will have their backgrounds fleshed out, because we can only put so many things of development in one game. So I'm gonna wonder, or I will wonder who will have, what was it? have their backgrounds explored here, or furthermore in Cold Steel 2 onwards, because, you know, we got 3 other Cold Steel games after this. And now, also, not to mention, you know, more members, more side characters, like other important people. Oh boy. And not to mention from the prologue as well, we also had an instructor Sarah in our party. So, oh boy. No, I gotta do Earthlance here. Actually, if they're blinded, I could do this.
Let's go.
My turn.
Also, if you have 0 cost, let's do Fortuna.
Huh.
So this would really help with the
My
damage.
turn.
Let's go. Say we go Detect.
Analyzing the enemy's vitals. I've got it. Huh?
Ha!
I can do this.
Okay, that should be fine.
Arcus activate.
Go.
Excited to be along for the ride then? You like the Cold Steel games? Oh yeah, like 5 games in from the Sky Trilogy and Crossbow games, to me, as far as I can tell, Falcom can do no wrong.
All right, let's do this.
Laser beaming.
It's my turn.
Okay, yeah, that'll still hit everyone. Actually, I could just do... Yeah, I could just do this instead.
We're open. Emma.
Right. Here. Huh?
But yeah, although I don't think I would... Although it would depend on how Cold Steel 1's ending will go. But I'm not 100% sure how quickly I'll go into the next Cold Steel games. Because I got a huge backlog of all the other stuff I want to play as well. Because, what was it? If you take a look at like recent JRPG announcements, Atlas coming out soon in August with Shin Megami Tensei Soul Hackers 2. I've played the 3DS version and I really like that game, and I will replay it after I finish SMT 5 and Cold Steel 1. And then depending on how long that takes, maybe like another game in between, and then we'll go straight into Soul Hackers 2. Because I really want to see how they'll advance the game from the first, because it definitely looks like a very different game from the first one. So I really wonder what they got. Ooh, yeah, we get on a crit turn.
Let's go. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to intercept that by accident.
Arcus activate. Ha!
It's my turn.
No, the cast time would take too long if I try that. I tried blinding again.
Whirlwind. To me. We're open.
Okay.
Here we go.
Strength is pretty good right now. Actually, what's your turn delay? Oh, 20% for a delay. Oh no. Oh, it's like, oh no, I wonder if it's like a percentage of the delay value it adds. I'm not 100% sure how the calculations go. Actually, now that I look at it, it's probably by like delay times like delay resist percentage or something like that. I didn't actually think about that. Fortuna. Nah, they just start smacking.
Now's our chance.
I've got you.
Nice.
Nicely done, Elisa.
Same to you. That was great.
Oh, the quad level. Hey, level 3 now. Oh, it comes with Ariel. Oh, well, no, duh, it comes with Ariel. Okay. Oh, Voice Breaker,
Just getting
yo.
started.
I feel like I'm going
I
strong.
believe Voice Breaker was, oh, what was Voice Breaker? It was in the crossbow games. I gotta double check that. So let's see, Crescent Shell. Wait, AoE defense 50%, magic reflect? Wait. Okay, that better cost like 50 to 70 or something, because like AoE 50% defense and magic reflect?
I did it!
What the heck? That's crazy. Burning arrows. Large AoE can unbalance. Burning arrows, but I don't see a burn
That should suffice.
burn status on it. Right. Looks like that takes that takes care of a task. Also, wait, I completely forgot about my tea. Hold on. Started getting into JRPGs during undergrad. Fire Emblem Awakening and Persona 4. Hey, nice choices. I never finished Fire Emblem Awakening. I think I hit a wall during what was that chapter? I was playing on like hard mode, and like it was at that giant tree that you had to like travel upwards through, and then eventually just stopped playing once I kind of got stuck there. Crescent Shell OP, yeah, like it's AoE magic reflect. I was like, wait a second here. I was like, that has to be on one person, right? Area large. I'm like, huh? It's like you would think that it's on one person at 25% with magic reflect. Then it can upgrade to like maybe a small area, and then like, let's say Cold Steel 2 onwards, then it gets super buffed. So like, you know, that 50% medium area, and now large, but then it's like, nope, just large, 50%, magic reflect. Yep, there you go, right here, right now. I'm like, oh, well then. Seems so. I hope this will go some way toward repaying the debt that I owe the Lieutenant General. My, how gracious of you. Well, I'm happy for you. Let's return to Zendergate and report our success to the Lieutenant General. Oh, you're just gonna like skip right back? Oh, yeah, just skip right back. Nice. Saves the time. So you were able to defeat the beast. Excellent work. I really appreciate your assistance. The winds allowed us to prevail. So it seems. Here's your reward for a job well done. You've earned it. Speed breaker. Thank you, sir. Always glad to be of service. Even had we not prevailed, the troops here would have soon made short work of the beast. Perhaps so, but I appreciate your assistance nonetheless. Even against a monster, I'd rather avoid deploying soldiers. Mobilizing troops tends to alarm people. Sure, we may have been able to defeat it, but this was a better outcome for all concerned. I see, that does make sense. He really does seem like a skilled leader. Or he really seems like a skilled leader. I've heard of One-Eyed Zex in the Vander School of Swordsmanship before, but... yeah, it's not hard to tell why he's a celebrated military general. Back when I first met him, he really changed my perspective on the Erebonian military. I can see why now. Regardless, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm sure your field study here will be an invaluable experience, and hopefully, a memorable one as well. I wish you the best with all your remaining tasks. Thank you, sir. We'll do our best. If you'll excuse us then.